Good morning. Welcome to the Declutter Your Life workshop. 3 easy ways to declutter your life without getting overwhelmed. A simple reset for busy moms who are done with chaos. I am Sally Bisbee, and so happy you are here today. You are in the right place. If you are constantly overwhelmed by the chaos of daily life, if you're tired of constantly playing catch up with housework and the to do list, if you are ready for simple, realistic systems that actually work, and you're ready to clear the clutter from your life for good. If you are like me, I am a busy mom with 3 kids. I also run 3 businesses. Life is a lot. I want to take care of myself. I want to be present for my kids. I want to do all the things. And life can be a lot, right? And so that is where this whole declutter your life has come from, is just my own personal mission of decluttering my life to make my life better and run smoother. And now I love helping other moms do the same thing. We have one goal for today, for you to leave with a plan to start decluttering your life. Special bonus for showing up live today. I'm going to be sending out my weekly reset checklist. I will talk about this a little bit more at the end of this workshop and share how I use it in my life to just make my life easier. A little bit about me. Yeah. This is my family here. My husband, Ted. My oldest daughter, Kylie, just graduated from college a few weeks ago. She is 22. My son, Taylor, is 9. And my daughter, Averly, is 6, just graduated from college. The other one, kindergarten. So I have the full range of kids, 6, 9, 22. I have been a mom for a long time. And I've been a little of every kind of mom. I was a single mom for 11 years. My husband and I met when my daughter was 7. I got married when she was 11. And I have been a work out of the house mom. I've been a work from home mom. I have been a work for corporate, work for myself. I currently own 3 businesses. So I own this coaching business. I also own a craft business. You can see it back here. I am down in my craft room. It is summer. My kids are home. Um, so I make all sorts of personalized crafts, shirts, cups, signs, anything you can put words on. Super fun. Been doing it for like 15 years. This past fall, I also opened a home organizing business where I go help people organize their homes. I love it. It goes very hand in hand with the coaching and helping moms declutter their lives. Obviously, clutter is a big deal, and just really helps them. So my passion has always been to help people. I have a degree in psychology. I always wanted to be a psychologist when I grew up until I actually was in almost my last year of college and realized that it was actually not what I wanted. And I still want to help people, but I love the idea of coaching and that it is much more forward thinking and how do we make your life better versus dwelling on the past. The past is important for some parts of our life, but I love looking at the future and how we can make life better. So, here is a little bit about the reality of mom life. Mom life can be very stressful and exhausting, whether you have 1 kid or 6 kids. It can be exhausting. Love my kids, but they just the constant mom, 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 and then all the stuff that we have to do, right? Everything we have to keep up on, and just the daily things like dishes, constant laundry, constant messes, all the thing, and just a lot of overwhelm. I've always been, I don't know, pretty patient, pretty chill about a lot of things, but becoming a mom and adding that 3rd kid in the family in the mix a few years ago, she's 6 now, but definitely added to things. Chaotic, never enough time in the day, right? That's the biggest thing. Any mom I talk to, friends, girlfriends, coaching clients, there's never enough time. And so it is my mission to just really help moms figure out how to get their house running smoothly, how to get their days running smoothly so there is enough time to get done what you need to get done and not end the day feeling overwhelmed every day. Today's goal, I want you leaving feeling calm and in control. I want you to feel organized and focused, and I want you to feel clear-minded. I want you to have a plan in place of how to move forward, how to just simple start decluttering your life and not just the physical stuff, but so much more than that. The truth about clutter. It's not just the stuff, right? Clutter shows up. It shows up in your mind, in your time, in your space, in your emotions. It's all connected. It's why doing just the physical decluttering of your house isn't just enough. We know that physical declutter adds to our stress level. I read a statistic, I'll get it wrong, but it was something like if we were to eliminate 40% of our stuff, it would, cut our housework in half or more. Like just the less stuff we have, the less there is to take care of. But there's so much more than the physical clutter, which is what we're going to talk about today. A little bit about me and my story. A few years ago, this was really what I will call maybe my breaking point. I just, I look at these pictures now, I'm like, oh, like I love my kids so much. But this was really when my daughter was probably 2, son was 5, my oldest was 17. We were in the throes of like toddler years and little kid, where the 2 little ones started, my 2-year-old at the time became annoying to the 5-year-old, started, getting in his way and taking toys and all that stuff, and then the 17-year-old, I love her, but we were in just the throes of teenage years of drama and navigating high school, and now with social media and all that fun stuff, if you've been through teenage years, you know. And I was just at a point where I was waking up every day just feeling like I was drowning already. Like I was behind for the day. I did not feel like myself. I could tell I wasn't happy. I certainly didn't feel depressed, but I could just tell like I'm a glass like 90% full all the time. Like I look at the positive, I am happy, I make the best out of life. And it was just that time in my life that I was like, "Oh my goodness." And honestly, I can't tell you the exact day, but I remember waking up one day and being like, "Something has to change. I can't keep living this way." And so I started what I called at the time Operation Happy. And I literally took my phone out, opened up the notes section, and made a list of things in my phone that make me happy. What make me happy? Now, I love my kids. I love taking my kids to go do things. We love going to the beach and the pool and the zoo and all the fun things. Like, I love making memories with my kids. And being a mom was my life goal, and it's accomplished, and we're good. But I think in the process of having 3 kids, and at that point, I was running 2 businesses. I'd forgotten about me. What makes Sally happy? What fills my cup? What brings me joy outside of being a mom? So I literally made a list. Many of the things happened to do with excuse me, um, being with friends. I am very extroverted. I love people. I get my energy being around people. And so I made a mission to find one night a week where I could go out with friends and have dinner with a girlfriend, find a group of friends to get together with. Even if friends weren't available, I'll go run errands by myself, just recharge myself. So I made that list of things that made me happy and started incorporating those into my life. Then I also made a list of the stuff that was stressing me out. So laundry, the constant messes, kids fighting, just feeling like a lot of the parenting stuff fell on me, and started looking at that and realized like where's my responsibility in this, right? Like I'm the only person in charge of my happiness. And so what needs to be done? And so there was a lot of figuring out what can I let go of? Declutter my life. What can I let go of? What can I ask for help with? My husband is amazing, very willing to help, very able to help, but he's a man and doesn't always know what I need unless if I ask him. And so I started asking and really getting him more involved in, simple things that I no longer do, such as put away clothes or do the dishes or any of that stuff that he does now. And so that's a little bit of my story, and just where this all started from and how I got into this and why my passion is this, and helping people and decluttering people's lives. It is my belief that decluttering your life is the most effective way to gain back time, energy, and sanity. Something we all want, right? More time. We want more energy at the end of the day. We want to end the day still feeling like us and not completely drained. And, sanity as a mom, always important. So let's dive in. Reset number one, decluttering your mind. Some symptoms of mental clutter. Things like you can't focus, your brain is always on, you wake up feeling behind or like you're drowning, like I was talking about. I'm sure you've seen those memes before where they talk about a mom has 1,742 tabs open at any time. I'm sure you know the feeling. And, for me, again, that was a big thing for me. The mental clutter was a huge thing. I was like, I just feel like there's always something going on. I remember like sitting and we read our kids' books every night at bedtime, and I would sit and read my daughter a book. I'd read the whole book and we'd get done and I'd be like, I don't even know what I just read because my mind is constantly going of like, what else do I need to do once I get her in bed? And I will say it's not like that anymore because I've taken all the actions I need to and done the work, and now it's why I love helping people with it, other moms with it. Um, and so a good reset action for this is doing a weekly brain dump. And honestly, I'd go further and saying when you're starting, even a daily brain dump, which is literally grabbing a notebook. This is not my picture, but a good one I found that is very a good visual of it is literally taking a notebook and taking everything that's on your mind, everything in your brain, and putting it down. As moms, we're like, okay, what do we have going on today? Okay, my daughter has a play date, my son has baseball. We gotta make the appointment. Yep. Well checks for my kids. That's actual. I just got that text today. We're gonna just write a quick note. Well check. See if I don't write it down, I'll forget. Anyways, picking all the stuff, writing it down, and then sorting it out. You can write it out and then rewrite it out and figure out what needs to be done, what's very important that needs to be prioritized and be done right away. What can you delegate? What can you ask your spouse to do? What can you ask your kids to do? Kids are very capable of a lot of things. We as parents do a lot of things for them. I know that. I'm so guilty, and there's things I'm like, you know how to do this, right? And then what things can you let go of? What things do you not need to be doing? And then choosing your top three. What are the top three most important? I make a list every single day of my top three. Like, what are the three things I have to get done today? And then if I don't get, four, five, and six done, they can move till tomorrow. So, just a good way of clearing out that mental clutter. It's great. Put a notebook by your bed. If you're anything like me, your mind races at night and it's hard to sleep sometimes. And so sometimes just writing it all onto paper makes it so you don't have to remember it. It can go on paper and you just don't have to think about it. Reset number two, declutter your time. This is another thing I was super guilty of. Symptoms of the time clutter, overscheduling yourself, always rushing, no space for you. Um, if you know me or you'll get to know me, one thing I love to do is go, go, go. I love having plans. I love being busy. My husband used to say, "Why don't you sit down and relax?" And I would say, "Sitting down is not relaxing to me." And it's all right. I've accepted that. That's me. I like to be productive. I like to be busy. But I found what worked for me as a single mom with just one kid, it did not work for me as a married mom with three kids. And my oldest and I, when she was little, we used to do something every night of the week. We could go do whatever we wanted, whenever we wanted, because it was just her and I. Once I added more kids and a husband and all that stuff, and now as a family of 5, I realized that, like, I can't schedule this every single day of the week, and that it's really important to have some of those, what we call white spaces, in my calendar, that I need to have some space, some time to have plans so that maybe I want to declutter something, which is a common thing around here. I actually have time to do it. Also, my craft business, there's a lot of times that stuff comes up and I need to have the ability to make an order to get it out to somebody and having that white space. And then also making time for yourself. It's so important, right? I 3 years ago decided that I was finally going to lose the last of the baby weight from my daughter who was sick. So it took me a few years. Um, to decide to do that, but one of the big things is I started walking every single day, and I make that time. I schedule it in and make sure it happens every day. It's a non-negotiable. It happens every single day because time for me is important, and I love showing my kids how important that is, taking care of me. They see it. It's a good example. So, a reset action with this is calendar clarity check. Really just looking at your week and looking at what do you have scheduled? What is important? What has to be scheduled? Okay. So you have doctor's appointments, things like that. Sure. Work appointments, work meetings. Yep. Um, Are you committing to things that you maybe don't have capacity for right now? Being okay to say no to things, to know that maybe in this season of life, overscheduling yourself isn't what works. Um, just that thing, and then adding white space in for you, block time each day, and whether it's, starting with 10 minutes a day, just creating that space for yourself to take care of yourself is so important. And I always just think like I have 2 girls and a boy. I want to be that example for them, and for all 3 of them, I want to show them all that they can take care of themselves, but I really wanna show my daughters that it's so important that as a mom, we do a lot, we take on a lot, but it's so important to take care of yourself, and I also want my son to see that, so that when he's married someday, he will make sure that his wife makes it a priority to take care of herself and that he is supportive in that. Reset 3, declutter your space. Symptoms of physical clutter, constant mess, feeling stuck or unmotivated, can't relax in your own home. We know that physical clutter adds to our stress level. There's all sorts of statistics about how much physical clutter adds to our stress level. And as a mom, life is stressful already. And so that physical clutter is so important to get rid of. It's such a good reminder, too, to remember that when we get rid of the physical stuff, it really makes our life easier. There's less to keep up on. This is not something I've struggled with. I'm super type A and super organized. I came from a family that's like super organized. Everything has its place. Um, Met my husband and realized he was the same way and knew really quickly that I was going to marry him because I needed somebody that was like that. Um, but the less stuff you have in your house, the less there is to keep up on and take care of. The less toys in your kids' room, the less mess they can make. Something we learned, my 6-year-old loves to play with every single toy in her room. And so I've learned that maybe there needs to be a little less, and it doesn't mean she's lacking on anything. Believe me, she's got plenty. But the less that's in there, the less mess there is to make, and less overwhelm there is too, even for kids. And so a reset action is start with just one small space a week. Literally pick a space, maybe a junk drawer, maybe your kitchen counters, bathroom counters. Visual clutter is a big thing, like when you're in those areas, your living room, your kitchen, bathroom that you spend a lot of time in. Um, Getting rid of that visual clutter is a big thing. Set a 15-minute timer, pick your space, and then use what I call the 3 box method. You don't actually have to have 3 boxes, it's just what it's called. Keep, donate, trash. Look through everything, decide if it's an item you're going to keep, if you're going to donate, or if you're just going to throw it away if it's ready. If it's an item you haven't used in the last year, I'd even say if you haven't used it in the last 6 months, get rid of it. Um, and then the, 2020 method as well. If it costs less than $20 to replace and you could replace it in 20 minutes, like you could run to Target or the grocery store or, wherever and replace it and you haven't used it, get rid of it. It's it's time. It's time. Um, sorry, I've got a excuse me, dry throat today. Anyway, I want you to meet Paige. Paige is a past coaching client of mine. When she came to me, she was crazy stressed. She was working long hours. She was super overcommitted to a lot of things. She had no time for herself. She wasn't taking care of her health. She wasn't taking care of her own needs at all. Um, Her husband happens to be a fire chief, so he works 3 24-hour shifts a week. So he was gone a lot. So a lot of things fell on her. And we were just able to work together and really just kind of dive into where her time was being spent and was it where her time should be being spent and figure out ways to free up her time. Um, and a lot of it was work. She was working crazy hours at a job that didn't deserve to be worked crazy hours. And um, my favorite thing that she always said to me was, she's like, "You just gave me permission to start saying no and start taking care of myself." And sometimes as moms, we just need that, right? We just need somebody to come alongside us and say, like, "Hey, what what's your why as to why you're doing this and how can we change it and make it better?" My favorite thing is um well, 2 stories of her. I one of the things I was encouraging her was, like, plan a night out, like, plan a girls' dinner, just start trying, like, even if it's 2 hours, go from 5 to 7 when the kids are awake and your husband doesn't have to deal with bedtime. If, that can be a stress for some people, I get, but they're his kids too. Plan the night. You deserve it." I was like, "Plan a night out." A few days later, I get a text and she's like, "I planned a trip to Florida with a girlfriend." I was like, "Oh my goodness." So she went on a 4-day trip to Florida, which was much bigger than a dinner out, but she went and I got texts the whole time and she was so, so, so refreshed. And I actually just ran into her. Our kids go to the same school, so I get to see her all the time. And just a week or so ago, I ran into her and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I was hoping to see you. I have to tell you." She's like, "Last week I flew to New York just for one night by myself just to go shopping." I'm like, "That is amazing. That is amazing." She's like, "I knew you'd be proud of me." I'm like, "I am so proud of you and a little jealous. That sounds amazing." But she's taking care of herself. She put herself back in the driver's seat of her life, made herself a priority. Every time I see her, she's like glowing, she's happy. Her kids are so happy. Her kids see that in her and just see that she's taking care of herself, prioritizing herself. And they just watched her literally declutter her life, get rid of those things that didn't serve her anymore. She was volunteering for something that she didn't have the time or capacity for. And we just talked that through. And she's like, "You know what? You're right. Like, I don't have the capacity for this." And I said, you can go back and do it again in a few years. Maybe if life slows down and you're out of these little kid years, you might be able to, but you get to reevaluate then. So let's recap about the 3 life resets. So the mental, doing that brain dump, prioritizing what really matters, your time, really looking at the calendar, creating that white space for yourself, making sure you have time for yourself each day. And then the physical stuff, your space, to start with small, doable decluttering. Don't decide you're going to do a whole room at once. My favorite thing still to this day, I do like a deep spring declutter almost every year. And I will literally make a list and I will go living room, TV stand, coffee table. The living room isn't the best example because there's not. Okay, bedroom. My nightstand, husband's nightstand, my dresser, husband's dresser, closet, under bed, and chunk it down into little things. So one day I can do my dresser. The next day I don't do my husband's. I make him. Next day I'll do the closet, which is a bigger one. Next day I'll do the nightstand. Just chunking it down into littler things that make it actually doable, that you're actually going to do it and feel accomplished crossing that thing off the list. Start with just one small thing and build momentum. That is how momentum is made. Just imagine if you had more white space, with better boundaries, more peace, you were still getting stuff done. You just had way less stuff in your life, stuff on your calendar, stuff in your mind, physical stuff in your house, how incredibly peaceful your life would be. Want help making this real? This is what I help women do. I help women declutter their lives, take back their time, and make themselves a priority again. It is like my joy helping people do that and then seeing just like their happiness and their peace and their stress decrease so much when they do that. So I want to share with you about my mom life audit. This is just a self-paced audit. It is literally, I will send you a workbook. You go through this workbook and fill it out. It's just questions about you and your life and just stuff about mom life and kind of where your stress is coming from, what mom look like, what mom life looks for you right now and what you want it to look like. And when you send it to me, I will then look it all over and I'm going to send you back a personalized video to just go through and give you some just ideas, suggestions, encouragements of just simple ways to declutter your life, simple ways to um, just make your life a little bit easier. My favorite the last mom I did this with, her thing was like, "Oh, it's so good to know I'm not alone. So good to know I'm not the only mom that experiences this." Because a lot of the stuff she said, I'm like, "This is all super normal. Like, we're overwhelmed as moms. We feel like we're never doing enough, or we're not good enough. We're not as good as the other moms we see." And so I think it's just such a good reminder to, know that we are doing a good job and see that we're doing a good job and all those things. It is just $27. If you go to my website, simplysallyco.com, there is on the top bar, you literally click store. You'll see the Mom Life Audit by now. Then you'll get an email with the instructions and super simple, done on your own time, very easy. Would love for you to do it. I think it's very, very beneficial and will definitely help you. Also, the option to hop on a free 30-minute call with me. I would love to just talk to you. I have multiple ways that um, I can work with you and would love to just talk and tell you about those. So again, website top bar, there's a book a free call. So simplysallyco.com, super easy to find. There's a calendar you can sign up for a time that works for you. I would just love to hop on a free call with you. Um, the bonus, like I told you, the weekly reset checklist. So this is a weekly reset checklist. Um, each Sunday, I do what's called a grounding day that I actually learned from my coach. And in this, I created just, there's a few pages in it, but one of the pages is just a one-page weekly calendar broken down by day and by hour. I go through every Sunday and I plan out my week. I go through and write all my non-negotiables, things like meetings, appointments, kids' sports, all those things on there. And then I see where I have white space and what projects I want to get done, what I'm going to get done each day. And it also just has some questions for reflections to look at how your last week went, how you want the week ahead to go. Just a great thing. Also, I have this awesome Kickstart Your Decluttering Journey and 7 easy steps with an awesome checklist if you're working on physically decluttering your house. That checklist there on the right is a great checklist to go through and check off as you go. The bonuses, I will email them along with a replay of this workshop. Feel free to share this if you have any mom friends that you think would benefit from it. I would love if you pass this along. It means so much. Where to find me, website simplysallyco.com, and then my three businesses. I am on Facebook and Instagram at Simply Sally Coaching, Simply Sally Organizing, and Simply Sally Creations. And just a reminder, you do not need to do it all. Just start small. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're just carrying too much, and it's time to let some of it go. Let's rewrite the story of mom life together. It isn't about trying to do it all. It is about just remembering that you are worth it. Your needs matter. Mom life isn't meant for you to be a big ball of stress and feel constantly behind. It is about just being there and being the present mom that you want to be. And yeah, I can't wait to support you. I'm here cheering you on. I hope you have an amazing day and look forward to hearing from you soon.